going on, everybody? It is Saturday, May 2nd. Hope you're doing well. So let's talk about Depp again, because there's been some developments. A big phone call released during, I think, last week or the week before. A big phone call where Heard called and had people come and check things out at the house. That's the big reveal. Both sides of the case are claiming it supports their cause and their stories. Of course, naturally, media is, of course, going to side with Heard. A lot of these articles have sided with her a little bit because, well, you need to believe her because you should definitely believe her because she's a lady. So, of course, that moves to smear merchants like Things.com and a few other outlets to release stuff like this. I really want to go over two articles. This one and then another one. I'm going to go through the whole other article. This one I'm just going to touch on because it's kind of the same thing. But this one really does it with the pictures. So take a look at the title. Here's what it's like to work for Johnny Depp. Working for Johnny Depp was no walk in the park before Amber Heard happened. Afterward, it became near impossible. And then look how they put a picture. So they put a picture of him on the right, and then like a before and after. And then on the left, look how he looks. You know, all wasted and just out of it. It's intentional. You know, they don't want you to like him. They want you to see him as a terrible person. This is just, you know, what they like to do. They like to smear him. They do this with anybody that they're trying to cancel. So, of course, there's been a lot of good coverage for him, a lot of positive news lately because Amber's just pretty much getting wrecked and buried thanks to the deposition and the releasing of those audio recordings of her admitting things. It's looking bad for her. So, naturally, shill media rushes to try to save her as best that they can. You know, they do what they can. So they'll put out smear stuff like this. So picture of him looking all out of it and whacked out. Go down here. You know, look at this. He might forget to pay you. You will probably be exposed to illegal stuff. Okay? What are they trying to impose? Like, you know what I'm saying? When wasted, he might just attack you. Or you could get an easy ride. So this is him talking about, you know, taking care of his family. He's often moody and depressed. You never know what he's going to do next. He lives in his own fantasy world. You may have to put up with his kids and mooching family. You see what they're doing here? Terrible, terrible things. So that article gets published a few days ago. And then April 29th, somebody else piggybacks on it and writes another one. And of course, this time they connect Heard into it and try to make it out. This is pretty much a hit piece on him and a puff piece for her in some ways. So I'm going to go over this one. This one's a little bit more updated than the other one. They're essentially the same article. This one's just more recent. So here's what they're saying. It's impossible to work with Johnny Depp after the Amber Heard divorce. Here's why. Whether you are his manager or his bodyguards, the job can't be a piece of cake. Now I want to touch on that real quick, because this story is kind of died off a little bit. And that's Amber hiring a private investigator to find dirt on him. Dude interviewed 100 people, and all of them had nothing but great things to say about him. That story is mysteriously kind of went away and doesn't get mentioned anymore. Isn't that kind of funny? So if it was so bad to work for him, why do so many people have such good things to say about him? I'm sure several employees were interviewed. But, you know, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to leave that out of this entire article, actually, and never acknowledge it. So anyway, although Johnny Depp might have once been a much sought-after actor with offers from the entertainment industry landing at his lap without him having to blink an eye, all that ended with his very public and messy divorce with Heard. The negative press had an effect on Depp's work and his psyche as well. Well, who wouldn't be affected by that? Negative press, people smearing you all the time, writing hit pieces all on how is that a hit on him? Of course it's going to make him depressed and stuff. Who wouldn't be? Oh, so because he's normal, he's a bad person. And that affected the people around him as well. Of course it affected the people around him as well. They're around him and he's not in a good mood. That's naturally what happens. And they're just going to go ahead and say that's okay. We're just going to not talk about that. So, for instance, it became increasingly difficult to work with the Pirates of the Caribbean actor, despite the fact that none of his employees have come out right and discussed the star's erratic behavior. So then why are you mentioning it? Why are you saying that it's erratic behavior when none of his employees have come out and said it? And he says, and they say most probably due to the non-disclosure agreements that they might have to sign. So you don't know if they have to sign it or not, but you're going to go ahead and throw that in here. This is a smear article. It's an opinion piece is what this is. At least that's what it is now, but they don't put that on there. They don't put that anywhere in the article that it's an opinion piece, which is standard for A-list celebrities working for Depp. Whether you are his manager or his bodyguard, can't be a piece of cake. After Heard filed for divorce in 2016, Depp became the subject of extreme negative press. Of course he did, because of Heard and media outlets calling him a beater and all kinds of stuff. Of course they did. So of course that's going to affect him. Okay, ruined his career. He doesn't get work anymore because of this. And, he's running out of money, which they're going to, of course, mention right here. He still acts like a superstar. Although Depp used to have an estimated net worth of $400 million, it is now down to $200 million, and is largely due to the fact that his career hit a dry patch after he was called out by his ex. He was sacked from Pirates of the Caribbean movie franchise, although there are now talks about Disney considering reinstating him in the next installment. So, because he's still spending money and in a dry patch, he's a bad person that's hard to work with? See, this is a smear. It's just meant to remind you what happened. Okay, he was called this. This happened, so therefore this is why he's not, working. Okay. Don't worry, he's going to get some of that money back real soon when he gets some money out of Heard. And probably the son, who he's also going after over in England. So they finish it off here. However, this has not stopped him from behaving like he's the creme de la creme of Hollywood, throwing tantrums and making impulsive purchases. Okay, throwing tantrums and making impulsive purchases. Here's normally where you would link something, show an example, show that he's throwing tantrums. I don't know, something. But they just say that he's throwing tantrums and making impulsive purchases. Probably is making impulsive purchases. It's not really that crazy. The dude's probably depressed because everyone's destroying his name right now. And, going through some nasty legal battles. He probably just buys some stuff once in a while to make himself feel good. I don't understand the problem with that. Why does that make him a terrible person? And then, of course, throwing tantrums. I just love how they put that in there. I've been watching news drops for this thing for a while now. If he was going to throw a tantrum, trust me, it would be front page news. So where is it? Where is it? Where are these tantrums? They don't exist, at least not recently. And, that seems to be what they're saying. I mean, the whole point of this is he's hard to work with now. So where are these tantrums? Okay, we just heard from a private investigator that 100 people from his past, present, and, everything else, they had nothing but glowing things to say about him. So, please, show me these tantrums. He spends a ton, which is pretty much the same as this. He still acts like a superstar. So this, I'm not even going to go over. This is them complaining that, he spent $75 million for 14 residences, including a private island in the Bahamas. Need to slay. He spends a lot. Well, he's rich. And he's a superstar. How dare he spend money? How dare he? This is so dumb. What a dumb argument. Okay, everybody that's a celebrity spends money. Anybody that's rich spends money. So why is it different for him? Was he supposed to live in a ranch home or something? The dude's a millionaire. And before Heard destroyed him, he was getting work left and right so he could buy all those residences and still have millions of dollars coming in. That stopped now thanks to Heard. So, he needs to live more frugal. Jeez, everything. He wiped the wrong way when he was done with the bathroom. Anything he does. He had a dirt smear on his shoe. Protecting Depp from debt. Depp's friends and staffers are always saying that Depp's life has been divided into two phases. Well, how are they saying that? How they're saying that? You just said above in the article that they had to sign NDAs. And you don't know. They're not talking. They haven't been speaking out. You literally just said this in the article, but now his friends and staffers are saying that his life's been divided into two phases. Well, which one is it? Are they talking or are they not talking? You tell me. You see how this article is going? You see how this is? Before Heard and after Heard, after the divorce, Depp was reduced to a sulking, depressed mess, unable to keep a lid on his mood swings. This was fueled by the fact that he was almost always under the influence. He began spending around $30,000 a month on wine and was seldom seen without a glass, no matter the time of day. Whoa, you're telling me that somebody that just got out of a long relationship and was married is somewhat depressed? Get out of town. He was sulking and miserable? What? You mean people actually grieve after breakups? I thought he was supposed to be jumping for joy and hitting the beach and everything. What kind of article is this? What is this? This is a smear tactic. This is a smear article all the way through. And that's all these ever are. You go around here, mentioning Amber Heard is forbidden. Well, of course he doesn't want to talk about her. Like, what? Of course it is. The dude, it's like ruining his life. He's got to deal with it sometimes. You know, and then sometimes he doesn't want to. Big deal. And then they put Depp forgets to pay on time. What does that have to do with anything? And where's the proof of this? Say in 2018, security guards had been working for him and sued him, claiming he never paid them overtime and rest fees, which is required by law. They also never allegedly received the mandated meal or rest breaks, as a result of which they quit. Okay, we'll link that case. Okay. To be honest, I don't know anything about that. If that's true, that's kind of bad, but I don't know if this is real or not because they don't provide any other details. In fact, it's the shortest thing in the entire article. But either way, he's mean old Johnny because he doesn't want you to talk about Amber. We don't know if people are speaking out before because we said his staff signs NDAs and never talk about him, but staffers are always saying this about Depp. Okay. He spends money when he had money, but he's not anymore, so he should be frugal, okay? He acts like a superstar. We're just going to talk about his money and then smear him at the start. So this is a joke, but it's common stuff. So you see these trickle out, these little hit pieces, these pieces with him looking all stupid in pictures. This is what they do. So I'm sure there'll be more smear articles coming soon. We'll see what happens, and we'll cover them when they come out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give me your thoughts on this. What do you think about all of this? Throw a like up if you would. Share the video. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and make sure you're still subscribed. And as always, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.